So I don't know if you remember us telling you that we fixed the dinghy probably about 3 times now. And there's a new hole.
What did Dan say? When it starts going,
it just continues to go.
You can fix it as many times as you want.
So kind of like a bathtub. I reckon we could put some bubble baths in there and use it as like a floating spa. So it's an absolutely beautiful morning. Very, very calm in here. Hopefully there'll be a bit of wind when we get out onto the ocean. Because our plan today is to leave and go to Montego Bay. So that is our jumping off point to go to Grand Cayman. So from Montego Bay, it's like 200 miles to Grand Cayman. But from here, it's only like 33 miles to Montego Bay. So it's our last hop in Jamaica. Feels like we've been in Discovery Bay for like weeks and weeks now, but it's only been like 4 days. So I think we're ready to move to Montego Bay, and it's gonna be a good day. Aye aye, Captain.
Aye aye.
Once again, we have to motor in order to get out and get some wind. We're in a sheltered bay, so unfortunately cannot sail off of anchor. And we've been preferring the 155 jib lately, so we're just gonna motor out and set sail. We're in the final stretch and we see Montego Bay, and of course there's a squall that is gonna blow over, and we have the wind right on the beam, and it's not comfy coming into the bay. But you can see there's planes landing, which is quite cool. It almost flew right over top of us.
Morning. So we arrived here in Montego Bay yesterday afternoon, and we tried to go into the area where the marina is, and it's a bit tight in there. There was a couple of cruise ships in there, and I think I'll go and film it. I think I'll jump in the dinghy after we film this here, and I'll go and film a little bit what it's like in there, so you can actually have a look, just in case you're heading this way.
Yeah.
So we've stopped close to Pier 1 in the main bay area.
The only thing that's an issue here is last night when we arrived, it was so swelly, because when we first arrived, the wind decided to pick up to like 30 knots.
Yeah, there was a squall.
And it was so swelly, so we had to get off the boat. Luckily, there's a bar just across at Pier 1.
Pier 1, yeah.
And we sat there, we could watch Barefoot going boof, boof,
yeah.
boof, boof in the swell. So we waited out that, and it did get a little
it
bit
calmed
better.
down later on once the wind changes here at night time. So you got the Calabatic winds?
Is that it?
I think that's what it's called. Someone's going to correct me. The wind. So basically at night time the wind changes due to the temperature drops, and the wind changes direction, which pushes down the easterly winds, and you end up facing in different directions. So once the wind had changed, our angle changed, and throughout the night the swell actually dropped. So it got a lot more comfortable.
Thank God. It was not fun.
No. Hey everyone, so I've gone to check out inside this little bay at Montego Bay. This is where there is a marina, which is over there. It's actually one of these Mediterranean stern to, just a one finger pile. And then on the inside, so you have to stay on the inside of the red bollards there, that is where apparently this is supposed to be anchoring for all the transient vessels. But I want to show you a little bit about how tight it is and how they've destroyed it here. This area on the outside is actually for the big cruise ships. So we can't do anything out here. There's nothing here this morning, no cruise ships, but they're in and out all the time. But obviously we can't anchor here. This is their big turning circle, and you get a lot of wash as well if you are too close to the red markers. All right, let's go inside and have a quick look. This area here, as you can see, is just full of mooring after mooring after mooring after mooring after mooring. This is supposed to be a public anchorage, and it is just full of moorings. And look there, just ahead of me. So I don't know if I would trust to actually drop anchor in here anyway. There's one mast. I can't see the boat. I don't want to get too close. I don't know. I don't think it's very deep in here. There's a lot of wrecked boats, old boats, destroyed boats. It's going to have a bit more of an explore. There's another mast. Looks like it's been there for years. There's another wreck next to it. So there's at least 3 sunken boats. I actually thought that was going to be another one, but it was just a little sailing boat that's rafted up. Ooh, scary anchorage. Unfortunately, in Montego Bay, so if you're not inside here in the very, very tiny area that we're allowed in, then unfortunately the only other place to anchor is right out the front of Pier 1, which is really, really nice on a nice calm day, but we get a lot of swell that comes through from the ocean, and it can make it very, very uncomfortable out there. So we've been trying to find somewhere where we can drop our anchor. I don't think I trust it in here.
Another day. More water in the dinghy. So today we decided to change anchorages. We were anchored out in Montego Bay in the big part, but there was this little bay, Bogue Bay, and it's supposed to be one of the most beautiful places in Jamaica to anchor. So we decided to move in here today. To get in is a little bit of a challenge because it's a bit of a zigzag course, and there's quite a few shallow reefs that you have to kind of go around and through. So we've made it through the shallowest bit now, and we're almost in there, and it is so calm. It's way calmer than it was out there. The swell was picking up a little bit. So I reckon it's going to be beautiful once we get inside.
Bogue Islands. We made it into Bogue Islands. As Erica just told you, we just made it through the little skinny entrances, through the reefs, which is a nice weight off of my shoulders to be back in 20 feet of water again instead of 7. But it looks like everyone's made it. Piper's just doing the last turn, but they've got the shallowest keel, so they got it sweet. The 2 bigger boats got in, and it's all good. So we're just gonna look for an anchorage. It's oh, nice and calm in here. I think these houses are really expensive though.
It is a pretty beautiful spot. There's birds, there's wildlife, mountain views, mangroves. It's not bad. Was it getting too hot?
I'm not sure. It's full of crud. It's all blocked up again. That's solid.
What's solid?
The fuse melted itself in the fridge for some reason. I'm not sure why. Could have been because the filter was really dirty and it's been trying to suck the water and there wasn't enough power.
But I did tell you to fix that filter yesterday.
Yeah, I didn't do it though. So anyway, so I've hot wired it for tonight, so it'll work, and tomorrow we'll go to the car shop and we'll get a new fuse and holder. So, but it will do for tonight.
New fuse?
New fuse time. I'm going to put a new inline fuse because the other one I think got damaged when we had the alternator problem and we had the high voltage surge. So I'm going to pop a new inline fuse in. Just check the instructions, 15 amp, so I've got a 15 amp fuse in here. And then we should be all set to go and all safe. Right, we're back from Bogue Islands. Had a great 3 nights in there, but unfortunately they kicked us out.
Yeah, we got kicked out this morning, so we had to vacate and come back to Pier 1.
Yeah, I think we can elaborate a little bit more on being kicked out. It's not like we did anything wrong, but apparently they have changed the laws and changed the, what do you call it, the...
it's a sanctuary.
It's a
fixed sanctuary.
So there's no more anchoring allowed in there. So you can take a boat in, you can sail around the Bogue Islands, go see the birds and, you know, all the nesting and that sort of stuff, but you're not allowed to drop your anchor within that sanctuary, which we had done for 3 nights, and they were very, very nice to us actually. They weren't angry or anything.
I think we also got lucky with the 3 nights because it was Easter weekend.
Yeah.
So that, which, I mean, yeah.
But it was great because it was actually pond flat. It was so
nice.
Calm,
it was beautiful. It was calm. We were able to just chill out, relax.
There was that beautiful restaurant, that floating.
Yeah,
what was it called?
Houseboat Grill. It was super fancy, way out of our budget.
Yeah.
But we had 1 glass of wine each.
We had a glass of wine and then we came home.
And it was awesome.
We weren't actually allowed upstairs because we didn't have the right clothes on or shoes on, or you know, we had vests, tops, and shorts. So it was a bit. They weren't, but they were very nice to us, and they let us enjoy a glass of wine at the bar. Yeah. And then we went back to the boat for the evening and had dinner.
But so that sanctuary, there's also a rare type of jellyfish.
Yeah, I can't remember the name, but there is a type of jellyfish in there which...
So you can't actually swim in there. One of our friends' boats, they jumped in and he jumped out right away, screamed like a girl.
He did. Julian, you screamed like a girl, brother. I heard you from our boat.
And it was, yeah, so there was lots of jellyfish, so it wasn't for swimming, but it was a beautiful spot. So also when we were there, the fridge decided to have a little bit of a funny moment when the fuse.
Yeah, I think we filmed that a little bit, didn't we? But we didn't have to go and buy a new fuse because we found one. We had a spare one on board.
But we now fixed the fridge, so hopefully we won't have any issues from that.
Still got issues with the autopilot belt we don't have.
Yeah, the autopilot died again. I don't know if we told you that.
I'm going to try and glue the old belt back together. It probably won't last very long, but since we've got no other option on getting a belt, it might, even if it just helps for a couple of hours on the trip over to the Caymans,
be worth it.
I'm going to try and super glue it back together. I'll let you know how that goes, good or bad.
Just want to give a massive shout out to our newest patrons who have come on board. Thank you so much. It means the world to us. Also, don't forget to like the video. Cheers, guys.